What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And many journalists say that Liverpool remain confident that we can sign Mason Mount. The 24-year-old has been confirmed by Frank Lampard that he will miss most likely the rest of the season with an injury. It's not a very serious injury, but it's enough to put him out for 3 or 4 weeks. And according to the journalists, a big transfer fee for Mason Mount, which is could be around 50-60 million pounds, and a big wage package or salary package is no issue for Liverpool. They already are prepared to pay what it takes to take Mason Mount to Liverpool. So this could be a welcome to Liverpool Mason Mount video. If everything goes smoothly and correctly, then Liverpool will sign Mason Mount this summer. He has no intention of signing a new contract, even though Chelsea tried multiple times to persuade him. So if you are excited about this news, leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here, and also stick around because in this video we will talk about many other transfer news regarding Liverpool FC. So the dynamic midfielder is approaching the final 12 months of his contract. Chelsea are under pressure to sell to comply with financial fair play rules, and it's absolutely staggering that even though Mason Mount and Reece James are out injured, Chelsea still had a bench worth 240 million pounds against Brentford, and that's more than the whole Brentford squad combined what they cost, and yet they still lost. Frank Lampard has lost 5 games since he has been appointed caretaker manager. It's an absolute joke how Chelsea is run, and also Chelsea only scored 1 goal in those 5 games if I'm correct. So Peter O'Rourke, who is a very well respected journalist, he said that Mason Mount is one of Liverpool's top transfer targets this summer. Liverpool are leading the race to sign him this summer ahead of Arsenal, Newcastle and Manchester United, even though Chelsea tried to persuade Mason Mount to sign a new contract. Mason Mount wasn't particularly happy with Chelsea saying that if you don't sign a new contract, you can leave in the summer, you will be put on the transfer list. That didn't sit well with Mason Mount. And even though Mason Mount had a very turbulent, up and down, inconsistent season, you can't forget that he has been Chelsea's best player of the season 2 seasons running, 2 years in a row before this very turbulent Chelsea season. And I mean, it speaks volumes that Chelsea changing their manager didn't improve them, it actually made them worse, because their goal scoring numbers are way down, their defensive numbers are way down, and everything else is just falling apart, and there is no clear strategy in place at Chelsea. Why wouldn't Mason Mount want to leave Chelsea at this state? They are an absolute mess. They are one of the worst 3 run clubs in the Premier League. So Mason Mount would jump at the chance to go to Liverpool, where there is stability, a clear strategy in place, a clear transfer strategy and everything else. And Jurgen Klopp is just, gearing up for the new season. He said in his post-match press conference that Liverpool want to finish the season as strongly as possible so we can take something towards the next season, and then we will have a big summer and we will get ready for the new season. And Peter O'Rourke said that Liverpool are confident that they remain in first place at the head of the queue to get Mason Mount, even if it takes a big transfer fee and a big salary package to lure him to Anfield. And it looks like after ending our pursuit of Jude Bellingham, Mason Mount is our new priority number 1 transfer target. Of course, Chelsea would prefer to sell Mason Mount abroad, but I don't think he wants to go to another league to play football, and Chelsea are pressured to sell. They are forced to sell. They need to get back some of that 600 million pounds that they spent on new players in the past 2 transfer windows. So Chelsea don't really have a choice in keeping Mason Mount if he doesn't sign a new contract, and I think it's almost guaranteed that he doesn't sign a new contract. And I mean, why would he sign a new contract? He's playing like 15-16 minutes for Chelsea, and the last time Mason Mount actually started a game was against Southampton, where Chelsea lost 1-0 in February. So Mason Mount hasn't been starting games regularly for Chelsea, and I think that's one of the main reasons why he wants to leave the club. Last season was his best season, scoring 11 goals and getting 10 assists in the Premier League is really good. And he always gets around 5 to 10 goals and 5 to 10 assists every season when he plays regularly. So this season, where he only has 3 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League, and he also has another 2 assists in the Champions League, you can call it an anomaly because Mason Mount hasn't been playing regularly for Chelsea. And also I want to correct myself. In yesterday's video I said that Trent had like 1 assist before he was converted into his new role. I think that's 3 assists for Trent Alexander-Arnold before the month of April, and since he's started in this new role, he has 5 assists in 4 games in April, and that is absolutely brilliant. And Trent has hit a new form at the perfect time from Liverpool's point of view. And also there has been published a list of goalkeepers who prevented the most goals, the most expected goals against them. And Alisson is at the top of the list with 10 expected goals prevented by a goalkeeper. He is leading the Premier League, and I mean, I can't imagine where Liverpool would be if it wasn't for Alisson. We would be in the same place as Chelsea, languishing in the bottom half of the table, no chance of Europe. And it's only because of Alisson that we have a great chance of qualifying for European competition. Bernd Leno is second with plus 8.5 and Pickford is third with plus 3.1. But what is staggering is that Ederson, who is the goalkeeper of Man City, he's sitting in the bottom half of this league in this goalkeeping chart. In fact, he's in the bottom 6 with minus 4.7, which means that Ederson conceded 4.7 more goals than he was supposed to concede if you see the quality of the chances that the goals came from. So that is really, really bad. And Ederson has great distribution, but he's not a great goalkeeper. And I've been saying this many, many times. At the bottom, it's Meslier and Bazunu. Of course, 2 goalkeepers playing for struggling relegation candidate teams, Leeds United and Southampton. Bazunu's minus 18.5 is really bad. I mean, that is not Premier League standard. And Meslier also with minus 11.8 is really, really bad as well. And Peter Rook also wrote that Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool are planning to have a huge overhaul of their squad this summer, with as many as 5 players expected to arrive, because there are a lot of departures. At least 4 or 5 players will leave Liverpool. He said, I'm told Liverpool could move for as many as 3 central midfielders as they brace for high-profile exits. Naby Keita, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Arthur Melo, James Milner. That's already 4 midfielders leaving. And centre-back has also been highlighted as an area needing improvement, with Jurgen Klopp green-lighting a deal for a new defender in the off-season. I said that either Gomez or Matip should leave Liverpool, and I'm leaning over, to sell Matip instead of Gomez. But Matip again showed yesterday, even after an injury, he can come back and perform straight away. He doesn't need a few weeks to get up to speed. Because of his positioning and game intelligence, Matip is so good when it comes to putting himself at the perfect place for a defender, and also he can score from set pieces. Joe Gomez has been very inconsistent this season. He's a few years younger than Matip, so maybe we can rediscover Joe Gomez's form. There is more money to be made if Joe Gomez is sold compared to if Matip is sold. So there are arguments on both sides whether Matip or Gomez should be sold. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Peter Rook has also said a new right back is also on the agenda following Trent Alexander-Arnold's switch to a kind of a midfield role in attack, and Trent could play there permanently in a deep-lying playmaker role, and that would mean we get a right back who can defend and attack a little bit as well, somebody like Tsimikas. But if Trent is seriously moved into the midfield role, we would need a really, really good borderline world-class right back. So that could eat into our transfer budget for the summer as well. And Peter Rook also told the newspaper that he's writing for that his sources told him that Liverpool are unlikely to move for a forward player, even though Bobby Firmino is leaving the club. And I'm fine with that. Already Bobby Firmino is injured so many times that we can't rely on him. And I think we have enough attacking options with Mo Salah, Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo, Diogo Jota and Luis Diaz. We have 5 world-class attackers. 3 of them plays, 2 of them comes off the bench, and we can rotate them very easily because there is not a loss of quality if any of those 5 plays. I think Darwin Núñez needs to step up his game, and hopefully Jurgen Klopp can work with him this summer so he can have a great season next season. He looked a little bit out of place against West Ham, but West Ham were defending very deep, so maybe that was the issue. Darwin Núñez loves to run into space, so if you deny him that space, he will struggle. And another centre-back, another defender that could be on Liverpool's radar is Benfica's Antonio Silva. Benfica had a great run in the Champions League, and Antonio Silva was one of their best defenders. And according to some newspapers, Liverpool sent scouts to watch Antonio Silva. He's only 19 years old and he's on the radar of Liverpool, Man United, Man City. The defender has a release clause of £77 million. I don't think Liverpool will sign a centre-back for that money. I don't even believe we will sign a midfielder for that amount. But Antonio Silva is definitely a really big talent, and Liverpool need to pay the big bucks if we want to get him. At least 50-60 million would be required. But usually pay that amount for a starting centre-back, and I think Konate and Van Dijk will be our starting centre-backs next season. But we also need to prepare for life after Van Dijk, because Van Dijk's numbers have really gone down this season, especially after his injury. But I think it's also coincided with Liverpool having a much worse midfield than last season. Last season Van Dijk was one of our best players, so it's not really his injury that is the cause of Van Dijk's drop in form. Maybe exhaustion, overplaying, and also the midfield not protecting Van Dijk enough. And oh my goodness, I just saw a statistic that Frank Lampard's last 19 matches as manager, he only collected 5 points from 19 games. That is, I mean, one of the most shocking records in managerial history. And yes, he was the manager of Everton, they are struggling. But also, being manager of Chelsea, and not having won a game as the new interim manager, I mean, that's absolutely shocking. And also, Doak recently came back from his injury and he scored a winning goal for Liverpool's under-23 side in a Premier League Development League match. It was a 1-0 win and Doak scored the winner. And Phil Thompson was waxing lyrical about the teenager who is one of the biggest talents. He said, "Oh my goodness, what a player Doak is. I've done quite a few of the youth games for LFC TV, and every time I've seen him, he has been outstanding." One of the great things about Ben is that he just loves football. He has got a wonderful attitude, but he is aggressive, and for a forward, that is a great attribute to have. He has also got unbelievable pace, he can provide assists, and he has got goals in him. You just look at him and think, wow, he has had such a rapid rise to fame this season. He has played in the first team this season, which is quite astonishing. I just hope he has got a nice feel for it, because he is a tremendous talent, and I agree. He got 11 goals in 26 games across Liverpool's various youth teams since we signed him from Celtic. He's only 17 years old. And he's a really, really big talent, and I'm really looking forward to developing him, to Liverpool developing him and growing him, and hopefully he can become a world-class attacker. And that wraps up today's video. I'm again today leaving home and going to another city where my father is still in hospital, recovering after a really bad stroke. He has been there for 6 weeks now, so bear with me while I catch up on everything, and hopefully the Liverpool Career Mode uploads will continue tomorrow at the latest, but maybe today, this evening, I can get one out for you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.